Hi,
We
everyone.
have the wonderful Lindsay today joining us from Ottawa, right? We have
Yes, correct.
actually, I think you're the first guest from Ottawa. Oh, wow. You are the first
Probably.
guest from Ottawa. So welcome our first guest from Ottawa. This is
Oh,
amazing.
thank you very much. And
It's only my pleasure. What were you going to say?
oh, I just want to add, yes, I am your number one fan. Um, and I just want to thank you so much. I always joke that I need a studio mate because as soon as everybody comes on live, I'm like right there, first one.
Right,
Like, and
which
this
is
has
good.
really been, yeah, and this has really been a huge comfort to me during this quarantine, just to see what other people are up to. So I really can't thank you enough, Pasha
Oh my
and
God, you're so
MetalAid for
nice. You're so
100%.
nice.
Like, that's
Everybody,
from
I
the
told
bottom of my
you
heart. Thank
when we
you.
got on the phone, like it's such a pleasure. This is amazing. They're so good. Their work is amazing. And then today I was like, there's no bad people in this industry. Everybody's awesome and amazing. So it makes it really fun for me to interview you
That's
guys. It's just like I'm sitting behind the phone with my, and I like chatting. I think everybody is kind of know that by now that I'm a big talker and I like chatting and I like hearing. So,
me
calling you
too.
guys and chatting you up is like it's truly my pleasure. And I hope that a lot of people um, have been very well response to this. Like they've been amazing in receiving it and very supportive. And the fact that you guys say thank you and I can see that you guys are enjoying it is more than enough for me to keep on going.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy your break though, because
Thank you.
totally, totally get it. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, I think August. I also was talking to a lot of people, was trying to do the lineup for the next guest for August, and I noticed a lot of people are going away. So I was like, let's just
Yes.
save this for September when everybody's coming back. Possibly, I don't want to be the negative Nancy, but possibly we're going back to quarantine again September, October. So I was like,
Oh.
it's yeah. I hope not. I hope not. Don't take
Hmm,
my word
hmm.
on this. I'm just being a negative Nancy. But if it was going on, I was like, then we'll have more chances of more people coming down and sitting with us to talk.
Right.
Um, okay, I'm gonna stop
Exciting.
talking and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and then give us a bit about your experience in life and goldsmithing. Where have you called home? Where was your
Oh,
education? Whatever you want. This is your
okay.
time now.
Well, okay. So my name is Lindsay. I'm originally from Halifax, and my early education was a bit meandering, but I by the time I found jewelry at NSCAD University, I was firmly committed. I was obsessed right away. Probably most of us are, right?
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, because when I went to NSCAD, I kind of was interested in sculpture, uh,
Okay.
but but I was very frustrated. And I mean, the sculpture teachers were great, but I felt like I didn't have any skill, right? Like,
Okay.
and actually the first person I heard who was doing jewelry, I was shocked. I didn't know you could actually take that in school.
I know, right? I
And
didn't know that either.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought, I had no idea what to think, but they told me it was like this magical little place locked away sort of in the bottom of this historic properties
Yeah.
and in this kind of like labyrinth. So there's a wonderful kind of lore around the NASCAD studio. So yeah, I signed up and I had K Sun for my
Oh
intro
yes.
instructor.
Case great.
So yeah, I had Pam, Greg Sims. Yeah. So from there, I went to Harborfront Center, which was fantastic, as you know.
Oh my God, I didn't know you were a Harborfront Center resident. This is my
Well,
bad.
it was days gone by, Pasha.
Well, I should know,
Days gone
but you know
by.
what? Now that because I have a very good visual memory, and now that I'm like scrolling in my memory of the artists in Metal Studio, I've definitely seen a picture of your work in there, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I should have known
Not,
this.
oh, please. How could you remember a whole roster of
No, I
people?
should.
I
I'm
mean,
planning on becoming the encyclopedia of the Canadian contemporary jewelry, so I should know this by now. Okay,
oh
I'm
my
taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I was there between, so, I mean, I was locked on Harborfront. Like when like my last year of school, I was like, I've got to get in there. Like I was just like, oh, I was so keen. I think Annika van Bommel, a
Oh
NASCAR grad, had
yeah.
gone
Okay.
before,
Okay.
and she was kind of my inspiration. So yeah, a few of us went and were accepted, and I think that was probably one of the happiest days of my life so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I spent from 2004 to 2007, I think, at
Okay.
Harborfront.
Okay.
Yep. And then I did grad school at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, which was
Oh
also
wow.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you did your master's there?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. That's a good school.
Yeah.
I've heard many good
Um,
things. Yeah.
I, it's not what you, when you think of jewelry schools, it's
Yeah.
not what you think of, a lot of amazing, but it's funny because it's amazing for material arts, like amazing ceramic artists come out of there and
Yes.
textiles artists come out of there. And
Textile. Yes.
textiles fantastic.
For sure.
Like Nick Cave was a professor when I
Yes.
was there,
Yeah.
of the sound suits. Anders Ruvald from ceramics, he was one of my advisors. It was great. But for jewelry, it was, I kind of went there in through the design program. So I wanted to like kind of expand a little bit and maybe be a bit multidisciplinary during that time. So not a jewelry school, but a
Okay.
fantastic experience, like
Of course.
100%, like magic actually.
I mean, also, it's always good to get a bit of a feedback because once you're so narrow, limited into the jewelry world, you kind of forget that. And I think now that you're explaining this, I see this in your work that because you have also exploration with other materials. It's not just all predominantly metal. So I think it opens up your eyes and your horizons once you take um, that like the next approach into other fields because it opens up, especially when you
Yeah.
have that background in jewelry and you have certain things locked, like the locks have been opened in your brain, and then you see other material and other approaches in other fields. And I think that's what Harborfront Center was really good for me, at least, because I saw the other studios and what they're right.
Absolutely.
So I'm
Oh yeah.
thinking, with your experience from with NASCAR at Harborfront Center, and then your master studies,
Hmm.
Chicago, like I think you probably would agree that you had a very good sort of leveling up,
Oh, fit. I yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it was a joy.
It shows yeah.
It still is a joy.
Yeah, you talk about
It,
it so passionately that I'm like, I could definitely see that you had very good times in all of the above institutions and schools. That's amazing.
yeah.
Good. Okay, sorry, I cut you off again. Go on. This is such an exciting story.
Oh, well. I mean, the only thing I wanted to add, and I brag about this all the time, but when I was at
You
the
should.
Art Institute of Chicago, it was
Hmm.
2008 when Obama was elected.
Oh,
And like
okay.
we were there, like many of us students like went to Grant Park for that. And I know this is kind of off, like this is off the topic, but like there
No, it's
was
not.
it was
Everything's related.
it was this feeling of euphoria that was so amazing. And I think like all of that informed me, maybe me more as an instructor, as an artist, I think. But yeah, I don't know, I like to interject that in every conversation because
I think it's important, especially now with all these political things going around the world. I think, every all these things, not that they're immediately related, but I think all of these
yeah,
things, like you have every right to be bragging about this because if I went to, if I was in States when Obama got elected, that's a big turning point of history in
yeah,
the US history and all the world. It's probably one of the
yeah.
best
I mean,
presidents that America ever had without them
yeah,
realizing it until
yeah. I mean,
this recent
sorry,
stuff happened.
sorry to
Yeah.
get political, but it just
It's fine.
characterized my time there and my experience of that city. It was just like this magical time capsule, which maybe was almost more valuable, maybe equally valuable. I'm not sure, but.
I honestly think it's very valuable, and the fact that you say that you brag about it and you have such a great fond memory of it, I think it means a lot that it has had such a profound effect on you and your education. And imagine if you went there. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get political now, but imagine if you went to Chicago when Trump was in power and all of this stuff was happening. Like
Oh
it probably
man.
would have had the opposite effect on you and your practices as opposed to
Oh
being in
gosh.
school. Or I mean, I'm not going to say all politicians have their problems, none of them are perfect,
Oh
but
right.
some are better than others, and I would have definitely rather go to school in states when Obama was in power than when our friend, that I don't like to say his
I
name.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sure the schools persevere though.
Yeah, of course, especially art institutions and art schools. I find that are one of the first places to kind of hold their grounds and not give into all of this misogyny and hatred and stuff. But
Oh,
still, I'm
absolutely.
sure if you're practicing art and I'm saying this coming from Iran. When I lived there when I was younger, it's very hard to practice art. Like we couldn't there were so many restrictions that some would also helped us to grow too, but also seeing when I came to Canada and see what people were producing with having all this freedom and living in a much comfortable environment, I think it has a huge effect.
Oh wow.
So I don't have any policy to bring anything political out here. I like political
Okay.
talks. Tell me this, did you go to any other schools, like post-secondary before NASCAD, or that was your first?
Um, you mean like for my undergrad?
Yeah, yeah, for your undergrad.
Actually, I went to Mount Allison for a few years, but
Oh, okay.
you
Okay.
may not even be familiar
No.
with Mount
No, I'm
Allison.
not.
Okay.
I'm not.
It's a great school.
Okay. Okay. But you there was nothing art related, or
Well, I did a found actually my foundation year I did at Mount Allison,
okay.
and like Mount Allison's it's
Oh,
great
okay.
for fine arts. Like Alex Colville, I think, was an instructor there way back.
Oh, okay.
So it's great, but they don't really have. And correct me if I'm wrong, but back in my day, they didn't have any craft programs.
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, but it was a good foundation.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was just curious to know if you had any previous sort of exposure to any of this, or you just NASCAD was like just diving into
It was
um,
really diving into it. I
okay.
mean, do you feel the same? Like,
Mine was different because my dad is a furniture designer
oh,
and maker, so I was always around his furniture shop. And
that's wonderful.
yeah, but they force, because the system in Iran is a bit different. For high school, we have to pick either it's biology or mathematics or literature. And then you have to take one of those, and then there's a big, huge test that you write. And then depending on your rankings, you get to pick. It's a very complicated situation for university. So when we
Oh,
came here, I came here right before I turned 18, so right before my military service there. And then yeah, it's complicated. And then so I went to 1 year of high school, and then I went to college, and I knew I was like I want to do arts, so I studied fine arts at Langara, and then design
oh,
arts at
wow.
Concordia in Montreal, and then
Oh,
finally and I went back to Iran to work with my dad. So what I'm trying to say is that yes, I did have a lot of um, sort of exposure to metalwork specifically since I
oh,
was a kid
wow. That's
because of my dad.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was good. I always tell my dad that I'm very grateful to have had him to kind of, and
Yeah.
also not to forget, my mom was a pastry chef, so the combination of the two, and I love the detailings on my mom's work. So I had tiny hands. I usually did my mom's little detailing, but having both of
Oh,
them
that's
there really helped.
fantastic.
Really helped. Yes. Sorry, I'm making this about you, but this is about you, not about me.
But,
That means, sorry, I'm making it about me, but it's about you.
well, I think not at all. No, no, that's
But I
fascinating. And
appreciate you
I
asking
mean,
me. I
I
like
think we
it. I
have
like it when
a lot to
people.
talk about.
Oh yes, we do. We do have a lot to go. That's why I was like, I really hope I meet Lindsay in person soon, because every time, especially even yesterday when I was watching the announcement that you made for La Pai Gallery. Oh, also I forgot to
Oh,
make this
yeah.
announcement that the opening was yesterday, correct?
Um, yesterday or 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Uh,
2 days ago.
2 days
Sorry.
ago, I think.
Yes,
Oh, that's
Sunday.
okay.
Yes.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes, and you made the announcement for the 17th, I think it's the 17th student National Student Exhibition at LA Pie Gallery.
You got
And
it.
the show is on until August 15th, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're in Ottawa and close by, please go check it out.
Absolutely. It was such a fantastic year. And
It-
like the LA Pie Gallery, that's probably the best thing about being a jewelry artist in Ottawa is having, I mean, as you know, it's one of the most important jewelry or craft and art
yes.
galleries in Canada. So um, being able to go there and immerse myself in all that wonderful work is so fantastic. And the student this year, I'm so glad, relieved I wasn't one of the jurors. Actually, they did a fantastic job, but what a difficult decision. I mean, it was a really, really strong year and even more compelling, because of the quarantine. Some
Yes.
people were making work like in their apartments and kind of adds a really interesting layer onto what they would have created. So yeah, I felt
I
quite
would.
honored to be able to do that.
It's nice, and I watched. You did a fantastic job. What do you call that? No, making the announcements. I'm losing. I'm
Oh, thank
forgetting my
you.
words today. Yeah, it was so, and because I've never seen you talk. We've always communicated via emails, and then the moment you
Yeah,
start talking, I was like, oh my God, she's such a great. I could tell that she's a good person, and I would love to meet her in person. And I was like, we probably have a lot to talk about if we meet. So
absolutely.
definitely next time. You're not coming to Toronto anytime soon, right?
Well, no, usually I do because I commute. I teach at OCAD University on a sessional
Right.
basis,
Yes.
and usually I come to Toronto once a week, and but maybe not for fall. But
Not before fall.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's, things are still a little undecided. And I guess I forgot to mention at the beginning that Lindsay is also an educator. So she's and you're very loved by your
that's
students
right.
too. I've talked to, yeah, people say you're a good teacher. Yes.
Oh, thank
And
you
what do
so
you,
much.
for people that don't know, what do you teach at OCAD?
So I've been teaching the jewelry history since 1800 course for about 5 years, which is, I mean, I feel so lucky that I get to do that. I mean, everybody loves jewelry history, right?
Yes,
Um,
I did a
yeah,
lot of it. I really enjoyed that class.
yeah. Um, and I teach jewelry concepts, which is also a very fantastic experience. And once in a while, I get to teach an intro class.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
I
Oh,
get,
good.
yeah, I get to be like, plant those seeds, right?
We're just gonna wait one moment for Lindsay to come back. Sorry, I think that was my. Okay, you're back. I think you're back. Yes, we have you back. Okay, perfect.
Okay, sorry. I
No,
switched
don't
to
be.
my data. That was my
Oh,
Wi-Fi's
okay.
not
Oh,
so great
perfect.
here.
Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit better. Thank you. Thanks for
Much
doing
better.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, please. Oh, no. This is great. This is good practice for September.
For September. Yes. Yeah. I guess you guys have to do. So is that the plan with schools? Okay.
That is the plan. So luckily, for jewelry history, it won't be so difficult to do it by distance learning and
Hmm.
asynchronously. But I definitely have my month of August is basically going to be dedicated to restructuring
So
the
yeah.
course so all the students feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was talking to some other of my friends who are educators, and they were saying that it's a big move because they all have their curriculums on one-to-one person teaching, and now they're like, we have to transfer all of these ideas via virtual world.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I just know I know the OCADU curriculum committee has been really working so hard to, I mean, just learning all these different technologies and then having to kind of disseminate all of this information to us, the sessionals,
Mhm.
and then we're going to interpret that and then deliver that content. But yeah,
And so you have a busy month ahead of you in August.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
August is going to be, of course, definitely dedicated to my course.
Kudos to you, honestly. Kudos to all of you guys. I think you guys should also be considered frontliners at this point because the education sector of all societies are working super hard. I know because I have educator friends that are working super hard to get prepared for
They are,
next
yeah.
year. Yeah.
Hmm.
So a big thank you to all of you and a huge kudos and please keep on doing your
Abs-
magic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
saying that too.
Yeah, so good for you guys. And then I was gonna ask you something else, and I just forgot it. Did you have any shows or any? Because I know everybody, and I know the last few people that I talked to, they were like, "We don't really want to talk about COVID anymore because we're so tired of
Oh,
it." And I was like, "I know I won't
okay.
bring so many issues up, but
Oh,
did you have any shows or anything that were canceled or any disruptions, any major discrepancies?" Yes.
yeah, and I'm
Okay.
so glad you brought it up.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, Pasha. Thank you, Pasha.
You're welcome.
Um, so Craft Ontario had an exhibition planned. I think it was supposed to be in May called Mass Wasting.
Yes. Yes.
And I think it was going to be really cool.
Hmm.
And I did want to talk a little bit about it. It's not
Please.
canceled, it's simply postponed.
Okay. Was Robin
Um,
Wilcox doing? Was she the curator? Okay. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. You got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think people might be curious. If you're familiar with my work, you know that I do work with plastics.
Hmm.
So that's, maybe may raise some eyebrows, but I'm really interested right now in the dialogue around plastics. I think you and I are lathe friends, which
Yes.
I'm super
Yes.
happy
I
to.
know.
And I know Emma was her beautiful exhibition
Yes.
Rubble was
Yes.
co-adorned.
Yes. The
So I know
corridor.
she's addressing it. And then there's Bridget Catchpole, who's been doing work with plastics for like her practice is so beautiful.
It is.
And she's been doing that for years. And I feel like there's like a time of reckoning coming for us who work in plastics, right? To like
Yeah.
address this,
Absolutely.
as Emma has in Rubble. So I'm not sure what your feelings are about it. I mean, I don't think, this very, very small independent makers,
Hmm.
I know that we're not the problem, right?
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
we really aren't. No.
we're not,
No.
but I think we have an opportunity to maybe, or, we can experiment with alternate ways, right?
That's what I was
Alternate
gonna say. Yes.
methods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
So for that exhibition, I mean, the context has kind of shifted now under quarantine, but I was going to, I'm still like, I work with the best quality plastics I can find.
Hmm.
And I use offcuts, and their offcuts,
Good.
right?
Good.
As you, I'm sure you do too.
Yes, yes. I never, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially with plastic, it's always good to use
Yeah.
every single bit. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's like so this proposal I had for mass wasting was really about how to, so there's work that I love that's like ecological urgency through and through, like Bridget Catchpole, for example, who like right on the surface you can tell that this is important work and here's why, right? And then you have work that like mine, which is you don't see that there's the ecological urgency is not really apparent right away. So I'm kind of wanted to propose like a counterbalance in terms of the processes of making and
Right.
like how we can alter our manufacturing processes and
Exactly.
sort of, yeah, and toggle them so they are more informed and sensitive, and like our lifestyle. So it was sort of kind of, that was what my proposal was. So
Which I think is the right that like it's a great, because using plastic and then that being your proposal, I think it's makes all the sense.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really coming to, it is urgent right now because now we're expecting students to make work in their homes. And so we have to sort of kind of look at materiality and best practices
Yes.
for those things because they will continue, right? Like we need plastic. I've been fascinated by plastics forever. Just there's so much they can do, and I don't know. I could talk about this forever, but I should probably.
Yeah. No, it's a very big topic actually, a very big
Mhm.
topic of discussion, and I'm always
Yeah,
very interested to see different and plastic. Yes, it's a terrible material, but also it saved us so many years from containers. If you use
yeah,
it properly, we don't have. There's
yeah,
so many times that I also see plastic being used, like plastic cutlery, plastic. There's so many
yeah,
things that are not necessary. Like plastic bags are also one of the other things that I'm like, if you're using it smartly, sure. But if you're
yeah,
going out every time and you're taking 10 plastic bags and bringing them home and then throwing them out, that's not a good use of plastic. But especially with exactly what you were saying, with what you do and the way you use plastic, and because plastic is not going to be stopped being produced. So,
yeah. And it's so, there's like this project by an artist that I really admire. Her name is Shin Lu. I think hope I'm pronouncing it okay. But she just made, I'm not sure what branch of material arts she really focuses on, but she made these plastic containers for MIT labs for this project called Sojourner 2020,
okay.
and they actually sent little art and craft objects into space with these little plastic,
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, like something that you and I could make on our lathes.
Exactly.
So there's so much, this material is so rich.
Oh, yeah.
As Emma said in her lecture, like, so, but we've just got to recontextualize how it's used, I think, on a mass scale.
Exactly.
I'm not sure, like, maybe I have not been able to draw any conclusions, obviously, and I may not ever, but
Even if I don't think we individually also have the power to make a huge shift, but if you are a huge change, but if you are able to raise awareness or change two people's minds about this and get them to get what you're trying to say, and then get those two people to change other two people's minds, and just like that, you can't just go up there and have an exhibition and then change the whole world's view about plastic and whatnot. But I
yeah,
think
I
it's
love
amazing
that.
that the conversation's happening, and as I said, if you even touch three people in your life with that sort of approach, I think that's something very good, as opposed to just being like, oh, I'm not going to even address the issue and I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing. And
Yeah,
I think that's amazing.
I
And
love
it's
that.
good that, because I know Robin's very passionate about this subject, Robin
Hmm.
Wilcox. And it was really good to see that that was coming, and I'm actually grateful that you brought that up, because I wanted to talk about that exhibition, that the fact that it's postponed, right?
Oh, postponed.
Okay,
I think they mentioned fall, like October.
okay, yeah, I think they're hoping to get a little bit like have less restrictions for that, because that was also it was going to be a big show, right? I think it was
Um,
a few artists.
yeah, I can't remember how many, but not sure.
Yeah, I think there was a few people. So
I
that's yes.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to mention there's an OCADU student who's in the show, Alina Derohanian, who's
Oh
in it. So.
yes, right. Yeah. I also because I did. I don't. I'm trying to think that where did I see the list of the people that were going to participate? Probably on social media or somewhere. But
Right.
I remember I was like very excited for the show, and
Yeah,
then this stuff happened. So I hope that goes on. Anything
it'll
else that you
happen.
had that will?
Well, no, my one of my I'm so thankful right now. I was accepted to Hoya Barcelona this year,
Oh, good. Yes.
and they're going ahead. They're going ahead,
I
and
heard so. I heard. Yeah.
it was it was really a dream come true because when they sort of announced that the selected artists, they actually asked us would you mind if, instead of coming to Barcelona, if we're just going to do some like editorial photo shoots and little films, and is that okay with you? And I was absolutely 100%, oh yes, please. Like these little vignettes that they're producing and imagery that they're producing is really kind of a dream come true for me.
Oh yeah,
So
good.
so I was really thrilled about that. And so, it's in a sense it's changed. They had to kind of change their directive, but I think I feel it's very strong
Oh yeah, I mean
going
everything's
forward. So
changed, right? Everything's
yeah,
changed so much that it's just the fact that they're going. Because I was also I couldn't believe it when they told me that they're going ahead with it, and I was like, oh my, because the image that I had from
yeah,
COVID in Spain was so horrendous that I was like, they're really having this
right.
going on. And then
Mm-hmm.
once I talked to people there, they were like, no, everything's kind of back to normal. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is going to happen. I really fingers crossed. I hope it happens because have you ever been to Hoya, Barcelona? Oh my
No,
God, it's so
no.
exciting. And I guess, are you gonna go or no? You probably won't.
Well, I don't think they're having that in the
Right.
same
They're not.
scope.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wish. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I know.
When I'm seeing these like the beautiful videos coming out,
Oh yeah.
and I would just I would
It
love
was
to.
such a breathtaking event that I went because I didn't have work there, but I had two of my best friends were having work.
Oh
And
yeah. Was it?
it was Marie-Ève Castonguay and then
Yes.
Devin Tom before she left Harbourfront
Yeah.
Center. They both had work there, and I was
Fantastic.
actually coming home from Iran back to Canada, and I always have to stop in Europe. So I was like, "Hey
Oh
guys, if
wow.
you guys are gonna be in Europe, and I love Barcelona. It's one of my favorite cities in the world." So I was
Wow.
like, "I'll just come." And we rented an Airbnb all together. It was Alex Kinsley,
Yeah.
Magali,
Yeah.
myself, Shelby Dodds, Devin, Maria. So it was like just a crazy Airbnb full of goldsmiths. That was
Yeah.
so I
And
had
you're all like Harborfront friends, right?
mostly Emma.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
great.
not Emma. Shelby wasn't at Harbourfront yet. I think she was just
Oh,
finishing up
she's
at
later.
NASCAT.
Mm-hmm.
And Magali wasn't at Harbourfront. But it was just we were there as
Oh
the
yeah, her
Canadians.
work's
Like,
fantastic.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, her work
Oh
is so
yeah,
tasteful. We were
absolutely.
there as the Canadians, so it was such a good feeling that it was like the
Oh, how
first time that I
fun.
was at a group, at a larger event, that there were a substantial amount of Canadians, and there were like people that were showing, and people were like referring to us as the Canadians, and I was like, I don't have any work here, but like these are my friends, and they're so cool, and I have work here. So I really hope you get to go one day.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think, have you ever been to Barcelona at all?
No,
Oh
no,
my God,
not
you're gonna
not at
love it.
all.
You're gonna love
No.
it. You're gonna love it. I hope if one year we all get to go for Hoya again, then you must come and you
Oh,
must.
please.
Yes. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had. So I'm very happy that you're going to
Yeah.
do that. So tell me this: do you guys have to send work there?
So we did.
Okay. Oh, you
We
already did.
did. Yeah.
Everything's okay.
So I know myself and another Canadian, Kayla Lim.
Yes, Kayla has work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful work.
She has amazing work. Yes.
Yeah, so precise. I'd
Yes.
love to
Exactly.
like be a fly on the wall when she makes what she makes. I have no idea how she does it. But yeah, so it was really fun. Like it was the beginning of this. I think we got our acceptances at the beginning of the summer, and then it was quite quick, like to get the work ready and sent. So it was very up all night here. My husband was probably at his wit's end. So,
um,
but yeah,
yeah.
amazing.
Because I also was gonna ask. I forgot again that. But anyway, I go to my next thing and then I remember. Do you have any?
Oh,
Yes, go on.
oh, maybe were you going to talk about automata?
I was going to mention automaton because
Yeah.
you're also doing it too, and that's at
Yes.
Hoya Madrid again
Hoya
in
Madrid.
September.
Yes.
And me and Lindsay briefly
September.
talked about the fact that I was under the impression that this is also Hoya Barcelona for the longest time, and then I realized that no, it was a Hoya Madrid. So
It's
thank God
different.
that Pasha realized that big mistake. So, um,
I
That's
would
that.
do, that
Oh,
sounds like something I would do
I
too.
remember I was gonna ask you this when you mentioned. Sorry, I'm going everywhere now.
That's okay.
Do you do plastic on the lathe? Do you carve your plastic on the
I
lathe? You
do.
do. Okay, we
Yes.
definitely need to talk then
I
because
know. I saw a
I've
picture
tried
of you.
this. Yes, I've tried this many times, and it's just driving me crazier and crazier because it melts when I go in.
Oh, I think maybe you got to slow down.
I think I do, huh? Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're so amazing. Okay, I'm gonna pick your brains later about my own
Well,
technical difficulties with plastic.
I'm the same. I'm the same. Like we learned the lathe at NASCAR, but it was so long ago. And when I got my lathe, I was like, so how does this work
How
again?
does
And Ken Vickerson gave me a little refresher, which is
Okay.
wonderful, of okaju.
Yes.
But we have the opposite problem because I'm scared to do use metal on my lathe.
Oh my God, we can help each other out so
I know
much.
because you use metal on your lathe.
Okay, yeah.
You turn metal all the
Yes,
time. Yeah.
yes, I
Okay.
do. I'm
We
not
will
an
compare
expert.
notes.
I still have a lot more.
Me
I
neither.
so I was lucky to have my studio with Jacob. Do you know Jacob Mailman? He also was at NASCAR at some point.
Oh, I'm not
No,
familiar.
he's like the machinery wizard. He knows everything about machinery. So I
Ooh,
shared my
okay.
studio with him for a while, and he taught me a bit. But I know once he were teaching me, I was like, oh my God, I don't know anything about this machine, and I need to expand my
Yeah.
horizons on it.
Yeah.
And we also had another request that somebody wants to see your work in the studio. Are you at your
Oh,
studio?
well, yes.
Okay, here we go, guys. Show and tell. Let me close this too so I
Okay.
can
I think
focus.
maybe I
Because
will.
I want
Oh,
to, yeah, do
yeah.
whatever you're
Okay.
comfortable.
Oh, here we go. So my studio's much more basementy than some other
Oh, we're not judging,
I
we're not comparing.
okay.
We're just looking at everybody's
All
studio and
right.
enjoying there we
Oops.
go. Perfect.
Uh-oh, no.
I'm very curious to see your lathe.
Um, so this is my, I'm just going to move some lights out of the way. Oh,
Yes, yes.
sorry, this is probably,
Take your
I
time.
had, I had my phone on a music stand there.
Oh, see, that's
This, this is, so my lovely husband basically built this studio for me,
oh, that's so nice.
in the deepest corner of our
About
basement. But it works, and I'm so thankful.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's my studio, and here I think your lathe is far superior to mine.
No,
Mine's
oh
just
my
from Busy
God.
Bee.
No, yours looks like a UFO compared to mine.
Well,
I
it's
call
just
mine a
the
Barbie lathe. I'm sorry if this is gonna offend anybody, but mine is literally a Barbie lathe. It's like this big, and it just. Oh, the lathe that you're
no.
referring to that you've seen was Jacob's lathe. That's why you think my lathe is
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yeah, no, I don't have. No, I wish I wish I had that money to buy a big lathe. The money and the space, I should say, but no. This is a beautiful lathe.
Oh, it's just from Busy Bee. I'm just pausing
Okay.
here because I I have like a little machinery. There may or may not be a laundry room behind that curtain. That's why I'm sort of pausing
Oh,
here.
that's fine. That's fine.
Um, I don't use that polisher because I don't have a hood yet.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
oh, so here's my work.
Oh yes, let's see some of your work. I'm also gonna turn
Yes.
the comments off, guys, for a second. Sorry, I should have done this earlier because you were showing your studio, but my tiny brain forgot. But now you can see your work beautifully.
So I tried to have these finished to show you today, but they're not quite finished.
Oh, it's okay.
I just
We
have to
won't be
set
able
the
to see little
stones.
details on your camera, so don't worry about little
Oh
details.
yeah, I have an
It'll be
iPhone
bigger.
6. It's
Okay.
old, it's very old. So these, I'm just going to set the stones tonight,
Okay.
and then they'll be done.
Wonderful.
And this is, um, I, this is a mother of pearl piece laminated under acrylic.
Oh wow. Can you go a little bit closer to the piece? Because I'm really. Ooh, that's very nice, Lindsay. Is it curved a little?
Yeah. Yes. So this is my newest item,
Wow.
and I kind of figured that I love working with mother of pearl, but
Yeah.
I felt a little I would like to kind of change the shape. It was always so flat,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So being able to sort of change the shape with the acrylic on top, almost like a clear cabochon,
Yes.
or
It's
like a
very
sapphire
nice. I
crystal.
love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
It's
you.
very. Do you do your own like shaping for the mother of pearl? I don't even know what to call that. Cut it,
Yeah.
shape it. Oh,
Yes.
you do?
Yes. Have to.
Do you
Yeah.
know any
It's great
lapidary
though.
also, or are you like what kind of how do you do
Well,
that?
well, it's so flat, right? Like
Right.
it's actually like a beauty to cut with the jeweler's saw and to file.
Oh.
You can polish it, everything.
Oh my God, I did
So
not
yeah,
know this.
yeah. No,
Okay.
it's like you do not need lapidary tools.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
really
no,
good
it's
because I've
great.
always been looking for things to inlay my work with. Maybe this is. Look at me
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
steal everything that you know and you do. Okay,
Oh
I'm gonna
no,
stop.
please, no, please do. It'd be entirely different, and like
Yeah, no, but this is
I want to,
fantastic.
yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, what were you gonna
So
say? You want to what?
I just want to. I'm very happy to preach the merits of
Yeah.
the material properties of mother of pearl.
Well, you already
So
got me interested very much.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a ring, and I
That's yes.
this had the mother of pearl disc in it.
Very nice. And
Um,
what's the brown material or the darker material?
oh
Is that
yes, so that's plastic
that's plastic?
too,
Okay.
but
Okay.
these are high grade or machine grade plastics, and you can
Oh.
see like very fine kind of gold dust they mix in there.
Oh
Not and not
wow.
actual gold, but gold colored
Gold
dust.
dust. Okay.
Yeah. So this was a prototype, so it's not quite. I actually wear that myself. But I do all that work on my lathe, and then but then I can fabricate the silver structure,
Okay.
and I actually rivet it in with a spacer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's like a little spacer rivet.
Oh yes, yes, I just
Um,
saw it.
yeah, just so I can actually, because it's a ring, you want to be able to clean between the layers, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, that's a very smart because I saw that picture because you posted a picture of it on your Instagram, and I think there's two rings. There's
Yeah,
a yellowy one, I
yeah,
think. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
Those
got
were,
it.
yeah, those are beautiful. Very, very
And so
smart.
this is probably where it all started. So I actually was gifted some antique mother of pearl coins,
Okay.
and then I set them into these pendants. And there's the original pendant here, and then the second one I did with the kind of hinging mechanism.
Okay, yeah.
Not sure if you can see that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but this is I'm not sure if I can pop that out one-handed. Probably. Nope.
Probably.
Nope. Moving
No?
on.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want you to break your work just because, yeah. Yeah.
And yeah. Well, and then okay, so yeah, this is the kind of original coin shape I started working with the centers cut out.
Okay.
And I've made some necklaces with these as an intermediary unit, if you can say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of what I'm interested in right now is I know Hoya Barcelona has a pair of these chainmail earrings that I made with mother of pearl and acrylic.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm very interested in right now. And these are just experiments.
Okay.
And these are
I mean, they're
for actually
beautiful experiments.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on this color combo yet, but we're going to work on that.
Yeah, for sure.
These are for the automata.
Oh,
These
the automaton.
experiments are
Okay,
for the
okay.
automata show.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, because I'm really interested in I'm not sure like how you feel about chainmail, but I love chainmail. You know how like a lot of historical recreationists will do chainmail, and it's very democratic, right? Like everybody who has two sets of pliers can make
Can make a chainmail. Yeah.
chainmail. Yeah, so I'm kind of interested in that sort of democratic quality of chainmail, and how also like designing units that are really specialized for their function. So some of these are like I would like to have as much of the structure dictated by the simple round these kind of O-shaped O-rings,
Mm-hmm.
but then sometimes I need to sort of interject a specialized, like a carved
Oh,
mother
okay.
of pearl piece to sort of help maintain the
The
structure.
structure. Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's kind of capturing my fancy right now.
I don't know. I generally find chain making extremely zen and very fascinating. I've always loved it. I haven't done it in a million years, but when we had to do it for some school projects, I just loved it. And whatever it is, just doing the chain or, attaching the pieces together to make a longer piece
Ab-
yeah, it's
Absolutely,
very
and
satisfactory.
it's so strong,
Mhm. Yeah,
so functional.
exactly. And then are those earrings? The
Oh yeah, yeah.
the big,
S-
yeah.
Yes. So these are they kind of look against the black. It's
Okay,
so these
thanks.
are sort of something I've been working on for quite a while, actually, like trying to perfect the closure.
Yes. And I love
Um,
that. I love this system because I was looking at them on your Instagram picture and I was like, this is very good. Because they're big, but I'm sure they're very, very light, which is what a lot of people are looking
yes,
for. Big earrings
yeah.
that are light.
Oh, I can undo them with one hand,
Oh,
unlike my
perfect.
necklace.
Yeah, yeah.
So this, I was pretty excited. They used to be something you had to thread on your ear,
Uh-huh.
and that it was, fine. But if say you had like a lot of cocktails and you were dancing, there
Yes,
was kind
exactly.
of some movement happening. But these ones, the way I kind of bent the steel. So the ear wire is surgical steel. Sorry.
Okay.
Um, and I bend it inside the silver tubing, and then it is,
Oh.
obviously tucks in the other side of the silver
Oh,
tubing.
wow.
So
That's
so
smart.
then, oh, thank you very much.
No, it
I
is.
was happy.
Very smart.
So then it stops here and here, right? So you only
Right.
have this little distance.
Exactly, which is, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So that
Perfect
was
designs.
a breakthrough for this summer.
Breakthroughs are
Yeah.
always good. It helps you move forward again and with more energy. That's amazing. Here, I'm also going to open up the comments if anybody has any questions because we're getting close to end of our time. Oh, look, everybody was so happy to see your studio. That's great, and it's good. And so, did you always have your studio at home?
Um, I'm Yes, I've always had, and Pasha, like, I've moved around a lot. I wanted to say this. I was just kind of exploding with excitement when you said you did military service.
Okay.
My partner's in the military, and
Okay.
I'm actually a reservist.
Oh,
So
okay.
so yeah, we've moved around a lot. Um,
I didn't know you were a
so
reservist. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
well, that's okay.
Okay. Wow.
That's all right. Yeah, so I just mentioned that because we've moved around a lot. Like I lived in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan for
Oh,
my husband's
wow.
career.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why we live in Ottawa actually. Because otherwise I'd probably
Oh.
try to live in Toronto or
Okay.
Halifax.
One day, you never
I mean,
know.
not that Ottawa's not great, but
No, no, I get it. I get it. I get
specifically
it. Yeah.
for the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
gallery.
yeah. Yeah, you guys are lucky with the gallery. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
we're
sure.
so lucky with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So, but then you've always, I guess that's also kind of prepared you to just take the best out of every situation and then just go at it as opposed to waiting for, because that's what the COVID era taught me. I've always loved having a studio, but I was like, hey, working from home is actually not that entirely scary. I mean, getting into
Oh.
the routine of things was a bit difficult for me because and I have two roommates that are they're, one of them has his own company, the other is employed, so they have obligations every morning that they wake up. So just waking up in a crazy house where everybody's running around on phone conversations and telephone calls and stuff motivated me more to have a routine. Now I do. When I wake up, I'm like, okay, I have to go to work. Because before I was worried that I'm just going to be lounging in front of the TV. And I'm not like that, but I was just worried that that's going to happen. But after that, it's like, no, it's not entirely that scary to work from home and have a studio at home and save on some of the costs that you pay for another studio, right?
It's not scary. I'd say there's give or take with both. Like I'm so happy you're having a positive experience and
Hmm.
I do too, but
Hmm.
I feel like it's very easy to take your craft generated stress and then integrate it into your family life. So I'm
Yes.
currently working on
Work.
that.
Yes, I have to agree with you on that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
then the only thing I miss is that get all these feelings getting mixed. Because when I was at work, it would just be work, and then I leave my work
Oh, yeah,
BS
separate.
there, and then come
Hmm.
back to home, and then just do my home. But now it's like downstairs to upstairs, and like I have 20 seconds to get from the basement to upstairs. Do you think that the fumes are gone when I get upstairs? No, they're still there. And then sometimes, like I mean, like if I'm frustrated with
Oh,
something
the
at work,
mental
yeah, the
fumes. Oh,
mental
I get it.
fumes. No,
Yeah,
no, not
yeah.
the like the mental fumes are still. And I walk up and I'm like, oh, I'm still angry because
Oh,
that ring didn't work out. I haven't had the time because I usually had it was a
absolutely.
10-minute walk home from work, but I would have that 10 minute to sort of either bike or walk and just relax and be like, okay, Pasha, now you're going home. Your roommates don't have to deal with your work BS. But now it's like, no, I only have 20 seconds. I either have to go to my room and lock myself in the room and be like,
Oh,
okay, you need to
yeah.
calm down and then go upstairs. But
It's a real thing. It is real.
we're working on it. Oh, Lena
Yeah,
is
working on it.
asking, I
Oh,
want to hear Lindsay's best advice for emerging jewelry designers.
oh, best advice. That's
Yes,
lovely.
you're under
Well,
pressure.
I mean, Lena, I'm very acquainted with her work. She makes fabulous work
She
already.
really
So
does.
I don't know if she really needs advice from me, first of all. Um,
I'm sure everybody can use an advice from somebody like you.
I mean, I guess, I mean, I know that she's extremely passionate,
Mhm.
and I feel like um, that I feel like I'm the same. Like um, you keep striving. Sounds like a cliche, but
No.
it's really all I have to offer someone like her who has all the skills already. It's just like, you jewelry is important. I know it's hard right now under quarantine to see that, but I mean, culture, like and especially an emerging artist, like all my students, I say the same thing to them. Um, Everybody's looking to you, and
Yeah.
that may be a lot of pressure, but you're also the people you have the fresh takes, you can propose something new, and just sort of being able to um, let that propel you forward. The fact that your voice really, really matters, especially in Canada right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very
So,
grateful you said that because yeah, I told Lena the same thing. Not that she was asking for advice, but I was like, your passion and your excitement for jewelry really shines through.
yeah.
So, and I think that's the first thing about and I'm going to call it success. It doesn't mean that it has to like you have to become rich or you have to become
Yes. Oh,
super famous and whatnot, but success for me is that when you love your job and love what you do, and then trust me, everything else just comes. I don't know if you agree or not, but
yeah.
once you're passionate and your heart and your soul are both into it at the same
Yeah.
time, everything happens
Absolutely.
one
And
step
like
at a time.
just that's absolutely. And just one more thing, like if whoever is like thinking about doing a graduate studies out there, I mean, the choices are endless and there's so many different reasons to have a successful grad study experience, right? But if you get the chance to do it for free or for as little as possible, take that chance.
Take that
Take
chance,
that
yes,
chance
exactly.
because you can build what you want to from within that. Like it's going to be great because
Yes.
really what you're buying is time with amazing people. So
Yes, exactly.
if it's free, take it.
Good. Okay, it's 6:26. I don't want Instagram to cut
Only
us off. I want to have a proper.
yeah.
I know. I can't believe we talked for an hour. You're such a pleasure to talk to, honestly. And I really,
Oh,
really hope
thank you,
that I get to
Pasha.
meet you in person very soon. Because
I'm
now
sure
even
we will.
I knew you were always a wonderful person, but now talking to you, I know even how much of a bigger, wonderful person you are than I thought. So I really hope to meet you soon. And best of luck to your future um, adventures, especially Hoya Barcelona. Well, I'm sure we will see
Thank you
and
very much.
hearing about it. And we also work very closely with Lindsay on some articles that are going to come out. She's a great writer. So you guys will
Thank
also
you.
see those coming out. Once again, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pasha. You've been a lifeline, honestly.
No, no, you guys have been more than amazing, and I love you all. That's all I'm trying to say. And then, so this is the last one, and I'm so glad that you were our last guest of the summer. We concluded it very well, but we'll be back in September, and I will post the list of all the new guests by when we get closer to September for everybody. And thank you, everybody who joined us today. Okay, bye, everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Lindsay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Pasha. Thanks,
Thank you.
MetalAid.